Up.
Right at the top. Again, for my presentation here, my name is Luis Gallardo, and I have for my interview Sean Bean, a colleague from our district. He's an educator, has been a coach and entrepreneur for his ventures. Thank you for being here today.
Glad to be here.
Before we begin, do you give consent for this interview?
I do.
All right, and as we get going, can you explain a little bit about you, bio, experience, background?
Sure. So I started here at Bloom Township back in 1999. Been here ever since. Same high school, Bloom Trail High School. Been a teacher leader through several different roles. I was the girls basketball coach for the first 10 years that I was here. The last 7 of which were the head coach, the varsity coach. About 6 months or so after I got done with that, I founded a company called Midwest Teachers Institute, which I co-founded with another teacher here. I currently serve as the president of that, and he is the vice president. And we've been using that again. That was about 2010 is when we officially launched. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've known you for a few years, being here in the district, so it's been a pleasure. So, as we get started for our first question, and the leadership roles that you've been with the school and your business, can you just elaborate a little bit about the roles and different departments that you have taken and responsibility of others?
Yeah. So as a district level, so coaching was why I got into teaching originally. So I always wanted to be a head coach somewhere. So I spent a lot of time going to clinics, learning from them. I saw Roy Williams speak. I saw tons of Hall of Fame coaches speak. I went to a huge coaching clinic in Vegas. Tried to always take a little piece from everything that I go to add to my toolbox. Never looking to reinvent the wheel, just looking for great motivators that have done things in the past. And I do look at other things outside of, like, for sports specifically. I also look at like what business leaders have done because a lot of their stuff can be applicable or other sports. And so always looking, even when I stopped coaching, I'm always looking for leadership advice. I believe that it's a very undervalued skill as being a good leader. As far as the business, 2010, became co-founder of Midwest Teachers Institute, and we help teachers make more money, basically. So we help them improve their teaching skills.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So they can get a master's degree with us now. They can get endorsements so they can teach more subjects, and then we just have classes for salary advancement if they just want to specifically like a la carte style. They just want to pick and choose different classes to take. So we work with 4 different universities until 2018, I believe it was. We were only with one university out of Northwest Indiana, and now we no longer work with them, but we do work with 4 others.
Oh, definitely some nice growth. And then you also have one of the biggest school districts in the country, right? Chicago CPS.
We are now an approved vendor for Chicago Public Schools. Yes, so
Nice. That's
that's been
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So to follow up, so within your time frame in the district and the business and your business ventures, what have been or one of your greatest accomplishments, career achievements in those roles? And if you can provide some details, strategies, principles, leadership that have worked for you to keep on growing.
So the first part of that, accomplishments. So in basketball, when I took over, we won 6 games the first year, and we constantly showed growth every single year. And part of that to help develop the program, really got into like the junior highs, tried to get them while they're young. And then towards the end, you started seeing the progress of that to the point where when I left, the program was in a much better position than it was when I started. Try to do that with everything that I'm in. You always
For
want to
sure.
leave things better off than they were when you arrived. As far as my business, um, I would say greatest accomplishment has been just getting started, and honestly, in the first place. I think later on we're going to talk about challenges. Is it okay if I hit that too at the same time?
We can hit it, yeah, and
Okay.
we'll talk. Yeah, we
Okay.
can continue, and then we'll
Yes.
jump into that as well.
So the biggest challenge and biggest accomplishment was just getting started because this was all just an idea. I was working for another company for a little bit, and during that time, I had the business idea, but I didn't have any connections. One of the students in one of my classes had the connection out of college. We ended up
Definitely need
talking.
those. Definitely need
Yeah.
those.
Yep. And so that connection led to, he said, I can't guarantee anything, but I'll get us a sit down. And so we sat down with the vice president of the university. She loved the idea, and then we had to sell it to about 50 faculty members,
Oh, wow.
and we got very different receptions from them. Some of them were all about it. The majority were all about it. There was a couple people that stick out that um, one in particular called me a capitalist pig. So
Wow,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
You
and
always have those, those
yeah,
on the other side, but
yeah.
to get that.
And I basically answered with, yeah, that's why we're here. I don't believe you're working for free. So we're all trying to make money off this. And it helps people while we're making money.
Have
So,
some growth, yes.
yes.
Okay, so yeah, you touched a little bit of both. What have been some of your challenges here at the district? So we talked a little bit your achievements and business achievements.
Yes.
What have been some of maybe your challenges, and the follow-up question maybe on the ethical or personal here within the district and
Sure.
your roles?
So one of the biggest challenges that you have in any school district is that things move slow. Universities are the same way. I always joke that when you go to a university, there's a reason there's vines and all that stuff. It takes a long time to grow those things, the ivy on the school, the buildings and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So they just can't. There's so many regulations that they can't adapt and move quickly. And it's one of the great things about our business is that we kind of work in the middle ground. So we're approved university courses, but we kind of work in a gray area to where, like, yes, they have to be approved. Technically, it's in their catalog, but we can charge less money. I can come up with a class, I can have it written, get it approved, and within a month, which is unheard of at the university level, we can have a class running.
So a little bit more flexibility on your
Yes,
side. Yeah.
yes. So like when AI became popular, I wrote an AI class fairly quickly to get teachers that were scared to get started on it, just to give them a heads up and say like, hey, this
This
is
is
not
what's
the
coming.
scariest thing.
This is what's coming.
This is
Yeah.
happening. It's here now. So it's not the future anymore.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I had to write a paper myself about AI, so it's here.
Yeah.
For the next question, we will a little bit on the business side, and you touched on it. What is or how your mission, vision, strategies within your business have been, essential in achieving your goals? So,
Sure.
what you had in mind and have,
So when we started the business, every successful business to me, you solve a problem.
Okay.
And one of the big problems that I had, I knew it firsthand because I'm a teacher and I was taking classes. One of the biggest problems I had is that I would sign up for a class through one of our competitors, who I worked for just a very small amount of time. You would never know what you were getting. So you'd sign up for the class, and one time it'd be a lot of work, other times it'd be a little bit of work, and you really had no idea because there was no transparency. So we've always been big on that. It does slow down our load time a little bit on our website, but you know exactly what you're going to get with an MTI class because you can see the syllabus before you take it.
Got it.
So we've always believed in that. We also don't like doing the price game where they'll say, here's the price, but if you sign up now, it's this price. We just keep our price low right off the bat.
So no estimates, is just
This is it.
straightforward.
There are no hidden fees. We don't charge for the only fee that's not covered is getting your transcript, and that's because you never know how many transcripts people want.
How many you need?
Yep.
Got
So other than that, there are no hidden fees. If there's a book involved, we roll that into the price. If there is shipping and handling, we rolled it into the price. Like everything is 100% as transparent as it can be, and we have not raised our prices since 2018.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's good.
our
So
goal
when
is to
somebody
maintain-
joins, they know exactly what class and what they need and what the fees are going to be.
Yep.
Straightforward. Yeah.
So
there's
we've always believed in that, and we've had people come to us. So now we have some of our classes are online, and we pay our instructors to do that, and they've been hinting that they want a pay raise, and we're like, we're just not going to do that. I'm sorry, because then we have to charge more money to our customers, and right now we're just not comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. You have that loyalty base and the
Mhm.
transparency is like, this is what it is. And if you start paying raises higher, then you got to raise, yeah. Where do I sign up? Next question. Apart from servant leadership and entrepreneurial mindset, please identify some lessons and attributes along your successful within this, school sector, education sector, and business side, and coaching as well.
I think the biggest thing is just stay curious. Like you always got to keep learning. One of the biggest problems that we have in education is that, and coaching, it happens too. Is we're lazy as human beings, and so something works and we don't evolve.
Stay stagnant. Yeah.
Yes, the population that you work with is always going to evolve. You have to do the same thing. The tools that we use now are not the same tools that I used back in 1999 when I was teaching. We used to hang
Yeah.
attendance on the back of the door on a clip back then. All right, I know like I sound like I'm in the Stone Age, but
Yeah. There's no cell phone.
yes, we had no email back then when I first started in 1999, and then they gave us email and we abused it for a while. But you have to adapt, and the hardest part probably in any of it, especially working with the youth, the hardest part is to try to stay young at heart a little bit and remember that they're going to make mistakes. They're teenagers, and and try to really remember what you were like as a teenager because you know I
Absolutely.
wasn't perfect. I did silly things too,
We all did.
and we're trying to help them improve. That's really what the goal is here. The goal is not that they have to be 100% compliant. It is like I really like to get into the why as opposed to like just if you walk in my room, you don't see rules all over the place. We have expectations. And I do that in coaching as well. You know, I just had that talk in practice. I'm coaching again now for for last year, and this will be my last season coaching in
Oh, that's what you say every time.
No, this is it. This is it.
I'm a coach as well. And I say that every year.
Yeah,
So.
no, this is legit it. I had already retired from coaching, and so um, I would say the talk that we had was along those same lines of like, look, this is not how a varsity program runs. You know, when we play JV, we destroy JV.
You're supposed to.
Yes, they need to have a little fear of you because you're that good. If they're not scared of you, then there's a good chance they're coming from your job. Um, so and stay hungry. You know, that's one of the things I love about being an entrepreneur is I tell the kids like when I'm on a paycheck also. When I'm on a paycheck, it's real easy for me to take a day off. When I'm an entrepreneur, if I take a day off, you don't eat that day. You know, if that's where your money's coming from. So
And if you develop something, you got to think what's the next thing, right? You got to stay innovative.
correct. But I do love evergreen products. We still have some classes that have run since 2010, and they're still making money.
Your foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you stay with the basics and you
Yep.
just keep improving. Got it.
Yep. But we have evolved. We've tried to. COVID opened some doors that were to different things, and then because we were forced to, and then also just the idea that to keep our costs down, we have trimmed a lot of things. Like so, for the books, we're going to more online resources and
More
things like
digital
that.
stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, so it closed some doors, but opened a lot of more opportunities. Tech wise, digital wise, and definitely I've known you for a few years. So I know when you were starting, and now you're there, man. You're in the middle. So hey, I can only see what the future
It's-
brings, and keep going. So
It's all about putting the reps in.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. People want to hit the ground running, and it's really hard to do unless you
Yeah.
have some crazy new brand new idea because no one even knows you exist when you first start.
yeah,
So yeah.
and then you got to pitch out your ideas. So
Mhm.
all right,
Many,
and
many
for
times. Oh, we just lost our line.
I get up.
Sorry, we're on a motion sensor here. There we go.
There we go. All right, sorry for that. And for our last question, and to wrap our interview, with leadership theories and some of the theories and principles and strategies we talked about um, that you implement, what theory or leadership theories do you feel there you have implemented and more than one acceptable as behavior theory, transitional, transactional?
Do you want to go back to like Machiavelli, feared or
Uh,
loved? Like,
Well, don't go back that much, but yeah, I have a few,
so we've always tried to. Our leadership is to treat people the way that you want to. Yeah. If I was working for the company, I would want me as my boss. We very much have a trust based system, so the interview process is less formal than a lot of people are used to. It's just a conversation, and we see if you're a good fit right away or not. Because some people aren't. We're not just going to hire anybody because
gotta have
you're
those
putting our name
skills.
out there. Yeah,
You gotta have those skills.
people skills is really what it
People
comes down
skills,
to.
people skills in that dialogue.
All right, and so like in our business, we are very much we understand people have lives outside of what we're doing here. So we have people all the time that this such and such happened, and is there any way I can get an extension? We're like, yeah, take time you need to take your family first. We'll be here when you get to it, and it's just amazing that, and we've always believed. Sorry, we've always believed that like, what's the best way to phrase this? We're willing to do some things that don't necessarily have a direct financial benefit to us immediately.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly who that would be following or anything like that, but we just like there's a couple things that we're doing and that we've done recently that's like, you know what, we're probably not going to make money on this, but
So it's more, in the situational
paying it
behavior
forward type
theories,
things. Yeah. And so the idea being that, when you put good things out there, good things come back to you. And we've seen it time and time again where, like there were some things we did where financially it wasn't it really didn't pay off the same as most of the things that we're doing, but it helped some people. I've even recommended some of our competition to other people because they were trying to get like they want to get a teaching license. I'm like, we don't do that, but here's companies that do that, and they remember things like that. And then they come back to us later and like, oh my God, thank you so much. I want to take some of your classes now. And I'm like, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe as well, I'm a coach as well. So having that empathy and, putting yourself in that, humility way
Yeah,
and then understanding, like I said, not everything's going to be business side or, business makes sense. And like you said, you refer it and then they'll probably come back or they'll refer more
yeah,
people and for the simple things that we did for them or, or direct them in different ways.
yeah.
So I
So
believe that as well.
the other I would say two things that really have two concepts that have been big for me. The 80/20, like 80% of your profit and your growth comes from 20% of the stuff that you do. And so I've really changed. When it comes to coaching, I've changed dramatically. Like it's a lot less of breaking down skills all the time and more of play, stop, explain. All right, now let's keep playing because a lot of the kids today have trouble transitioning from a drill that you did to applying it to an actual sport.
That retention.
Yes, and so we spend a lot more time now playing than we used to with today's kids. And then the other thing, I think it's called the Pareto principle. The idea that basically, if you give yourself a month to do something, it's going to take you a month to do it. If you give yourself a week to do something, you're going to get it done in a week. And so you set the parameters, and then you have to hustle to make it work.
Those short-term goals.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh, we work so much better when I literally have things that I've had on my plate to do for years. Like I want to make more videos like this. I want to do more things where like I'm on video talking but sales go up and I get lazy and it's like, we don't really have to do it. Like we're comfortable with what we're doing right now, even though it might have more growth. Like, yeah, but on the other hand, like we had a moment in when we only had one university partner, which again was 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. We were sitting in a meeting and they literally, we had a little bit of heads up that something was going down because the people that worked for that college actually liked us better than they liked them because we'd send them gift baskets and things. That's another thing we always believe in doing is you take care of the people that work for you. So
appreciation.
yep, if we have some extra money to like we're having a great year this year, so some of them are going to get some bonuses. They 100% don't know it's coming, so please don't tell. Don't tell Mike. Um, so we were sitting in this meeting though, and we'd had a little bit of heads up, but we didn't know how bad it was going to be. And they started talking, and I looked at my partner and said, "We're done. We can't do the things that they're saying," and which was ironic because they were making a lot of money off of us. And so I said that, and then all of a sudden they saw that thing they were going to lose all that money, and so then they started backpedaling, and that was a big moment for us of like, oh, we have all of our eggs in one basket right now. If this university folds, or if they decide they just don't like us anymore, like literally a leadership change, and they change leaders constantly, so that was always a threat, which have actually came true eventually. But luckily by then we'd built a parachute and we had a couple other universities lined up.
Yeah, different options, different
Yep. Just
partners.
that way if something goes wrong.
That would have definitely been not
yeah,
good.
and it has fluctuated. So like Colorado State was huge for us for a while for master's degrees. And then they found out that too many of our classes were part of their master's degrees, and so now the numbers dropped and they raised their prices dramatically because it wasn't ours as much. And so now fewer people want to take their masters. So we were killing it in the 2020, 21.
So they were coming more your way than
Yes.
their masters.
Well, it was a joint venture. And so it became less of a joint venture and they raised their prices. And so now they're right there with everybody else. So you don't have that competitive advantage anymore. And so now endorsements are killing it. And so like Andrews University out of Michigan is probably our number one partner right now. They love us. And so
That's always good.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
just expanding from one,
Yep.
4, 5, and keep going, and
Yep.
have something partnership that's not working, then you have others to rely on and also expand. So
Yeah.
well, Sean, well, thank you so much time for
absolutely.
this interview. I appreciate all the insight and your leadership,
Yeah.
your business and your mindset. I've always learned from him. Come in his classroom. I love his classroom.
Then he
so-
comes in and speaks to my kids for 20 minutes. So.
But I've learned a lot from you and from all the mentors that I've had. So it's always nice to pick everybody's brain and
absolutely.
see what's working. And as a coach as well, got to keep improving, staying with the youth because we're old school, but we got to kind of innovate and move on with them because it's different challenges.
I'm more old school than you.
I look a little bit more on school than you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This concludes our interview, and thanks a lot,
Yep.
Sean.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one.